owner of Beautiful Boss LLC, a advocate for abuse victims. At Beautiful Boss is where we take beauty personally, where we empower people. I'm Rachaeal Stewart Johnson, the author of Shackle That Had Me Bound, owner of Beautiful Boss LLC, a advocate for abuse victims. At Beautiful Boss is where we take beauty personally, where we empower people and encourage them to be the beautiful boss they were created to be. Join the conversation with me every Thursday at 1 p.m. on Fire 716 Radio.
And inspiration.
I'm Rachaeal Stewart Johnson, the author of Shackle That Had Me Bound, owner of Beautiful Boss LLC, a advocate for abuse victims. At Beautiful Boss is where we take beauty personally, where we empower people and encourage them to be the beautiful boss they were created to be. Join the conversation with me every Thursday at 1 p.m. on Fire 716 Radio.
Fire 716 Radio, you are inside Beautiful Boss with my homegirl, Rachaeal Stewart Johnson. How are you, love? How you doing today? How you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
Good. How was your day today?
It's good.
It's good. That's awesome. So we've been talking and just having a good dialogue over the last couple of weeks, just about your story, your highlights. And today's conversation for me, just because I'm going to continue it, we talked about just healthy relationships. We talked about your youth, some of the trauma that you dealt with and overcome. You know, it's your fault. Don't judge me, okay? I'm going here. So let's talk. How was we got trauma? We have childhood trauma. We have teenage trauma. We have these challenges now. As a young lady in high school and developing, how was dating for you, even with those challenges? Yeah, I did that. I just jumped into that.
How was dating?
How was dating? Like, how was it hard to trust? Was it hard to give them chances? Like when I say chances, like, how did the violations of life affect how you dated when it came down to, you got your husband down the line, but just in between that time, how, talking to young men or maybe.
Well, because I had a good father, really. My father was really, really very respectable, intelligent man. So he set what's the word?
Like the bar or the standard?
The standards.
Got you.
So when I don't look. I'm not trying to be funny, but I don't look for guys.
No, talk to
them. They come to me. So, so when a guy approaches me, if he's not similar to what my father stands for, what he represents, I'll be like, nah, don't even waste your time. You got some guys that back then, when I'm in high school, they be like, oh, you're so beautiful. They think, oh, that's gonna get them a date or get them some, you know what. But me, I already know I'm beautiful, so I don't need you to tell me that. And sometimes guys just tell you that to get between, you know what.
Tell it.
So, I mean, I let the guys know back then, basically, if you want to date me, you got to be respectable. You have to put God first, of course. Because I went to church almost every day. My dad had me. I'm sorry. My dad had me in the church every day. So, singing, reading the Bible. Yeah, pastor daughter. So we were in church every day. So yeah, you definitely had to come correct if you was gonna step to me.
No, valid. What would be, so like I told you, we're gonna get to your husband. What would be some major pointers that, let's just call it things that attracted you to somebody who came to pursue you. So if the man came to you, and you talked about qualities that your father had. What were some of those qualities?
God fearing. The first thing when I met my husband, he talked about going to church.
Mm-hmm.
He liked to work. My dad worked his whole entire life. Like he didn't depend on nobody but God.
Yeah.
Put God first in everything. Um, you gotta look good, smell good, take care
Mm-hmm.
of yourself.
Yeah.
Also, uh, what another thing I have to look for? I mean, I'm not. You don't have to be super perfect. Like if you smoke, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you drink, that's okay. But just don't overdo it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Balance.
Um, I mean, but my dad never smoked and drink. But like I said, you don't have to be perfect.
Yeah. Because her
Um,
dad was what? Okay. Yeah. Y'all here talking?
my dad was a pastor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah. Just you gotta know how to treat me as a woman.
Absolutely.
Don't disrespect me. Don't ask me to do things that you wouldn't want your daughter to do
Mm-hmm.
or your sibling to do.
Valid.
Just
Absolutely.
come at me with respect.
Absolutely. And I think the process of being that beautiful boss that you are
Mhm.
is having those standards,
Mhm.
even with traumatic things happening. It's a blessing to have somebody in your life
Mhm.
around to be able to show you, this is the standard or the caliber of
Mhm.
man that you should be with. And I know that beautiful boss is not just for women,
Mhm.
but it's important that everybody has a standard or a quality to know
Mhm.
what you're getting ready to get attached to and what's no, that's not
No
it.
one's perfect,
Yeah,
so I don't
absolutely.
look for a perfect man.
Yeah.
But I expect you to have your stuff together. You
Hmm.
know, you know, um, not be in a jailbird or falling over drunk every day. I
No,
don't want
that's
that.
real. That's real.
Yeah.
Because we talked about how relationship earlier today, that how relationships affect just the way you move and operate.
Mhm.
And being a beautiful boss, it is important that you're a boss.
Mhm.
You're moving in a different vein, and you can't really allow somebody else's behavior or conduct
Mhm.
be a hindrance to you.
Yeah.
So that's important as well. So
Mhm.
um, now I'm gonna get into it because I told you we talk about it. Now because I want to know the story of in the process of overcoming trauma. What was the journey like for you? Give me the story how you met your husband. How did you guys
My
meet?
husband lived in Atlanta for 21 years,
Mm-hmm.
but he's originally from Niagara Falls. So what drew me to him was his country accent.
Mm.
Cause like I said, I be looking for similar things. Like my dad's from Tennessee, so he always had that country accent.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you got that country accent. Shout it, shout it.
Uh-huh.
Talk that with that, And he had like he can dress, he
Mm-hmm.
smelled good, he looked good, he's very handsome. He worked. Like
Yeah.
he took care of business. Like he was up 4 in the morning. I didn't have to do anything. Like I said, he cleaned the house.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to, but when he came along, that all cut out. He was doing everything for me.
Yeah.
Cooking, cleaning, he ironed the clothes, everything. He had our outfits picked out to match one another. Like
Sweet.
he was on top of it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he was like a ball of energy.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very. He got a twin. He has a twin that lives in Niagara Falls.
Oh wow.
Yep, looks just like him. But yep. If he was to be living today, he would be healthy. I'm
Wow.
pretty sure of it. Because when he passed away, his autopsy came back and was nothing wrong with him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Because sometimes people like I told you, I understand that overcoming trauma, but even in the middle of trauma, overcoming and healing,
Mm-hmm.
you was able to find love, and you was able to
Mm-hmm.
find somebody who was worth um, time and investment. And
Mm-hmm.
now, okay. Yes, she said, Frank, are you sure you want to talk to you? I'm talking about it. So you got this man. He's fine. He's together.
Mm-hmm.
He's in his bag, his business. He's up in the morning doing
Always
everything,
working. He always
always
making
working.
money. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and
And he treats his mama right.
come on, talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
Because how a man treat his mama can tell you a
Mm-hmm.
whole
Tells me everything.
tell you a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
And Felicia, greetings. How are you? Absolutely. And with with that level of love and care
Mm-hmm.
as a woman, how did it make you feel?
It felt good.
Yeah.
Yeah, to have, first I was doing everything, but when he
Mhm.
came along, I had to do nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what I want. I don't want to feel like a man, but
Hmm.
because of my situation, I have to do, take on some things that
Yeah.
I didn't ask to take on. But I want to feel like a woman. I want to take that on that feminine role.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Now, because that's valid, because sometimes
Mhm.
people feel that I get this is good. I get the balance required in being a boss and feminine,
Mhm.
because I think that
I
sometimes,
want the feminine because
valid.
that's all I am. Like I gotta be on my kids all the time because
Yeah.
the father not there.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, what am I gonna do? Like I can't be their friend.
Yeah.
I gotta get serious with them.
No,
They
valid.
try you.
They're valid.
Yeah.
And with your partner, not being here, that's a responsibility that
Mhm.
comes having to play both roles. But right now, in the society that we're in, um, some of the bosses are trying to be masculine, but you can
Mm-mm.
be a boss and still feminine. You can
I like
still
to be a
be,
feminine.
you can still handle your business and still. I'll say this: you can separate home and business.
Mhm.
Where for business, yes, I got
Mhm.
this. We gonna work it out. He gonna support me. We got it. But
Mhm.
when I go home, babe, you got this. What you want?
Mhm.
And being able to have that partnership and to hear that you had that is a blessing.
And one thing, I make my man feel comfortable. My
Mm-hmm.
husband. Um, I don't fight with him.
Yeah.
I'm his peace. So it's like, okay, so when I
Oh, she said, y'all better say that.
yeah, I'm his peace.
Typing too fast.
I don't
Hello.
I don't like to keep confusion in a relationship. I
Absolutely.
like to be peaceful.
Absolutely.
When my man come home, you listen, you don't had a hard day at work, or I don't had a hard day at work. We just want to, be peaceful about the whole
Absolutely.
situation.
And I think that's a blessing. And I think that is something that has to
Mm-hmm.
be taught. 'Cause let's just be honest,
Mm-hmm.
the family dynamic isn't what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of women who are raising single parent homes. It's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And they are, I got to do it all. I got to do it
Mm-hmm.
all. But then that's passed down now to their daughters who feel like, oh, I got to do it all. I
Mm-hmm.
don't need a man.
Mm-hmm.
And that conversation can sometimes be a clash. Like, no, let's find our partnership. Let's
Mm-hmm.
find what works for us. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that in the process of being a beautiful boss, teaching both male and female, hey,
About
listen,
letting that man, if he want to come along and you want to do something, let him do that for you.
let him do it, because there's been relationships where,
As long as
because
it's positive, nothing
exactly,
away
for
from it.
sure,
Yeah.
that there's been situations where, because you want to do it yourself, and as the man, I want to come in to help, but because you're so accustomed
Mm-hmm.
to being independent and by yourself and doing
Mm-hmm.
it all yourself, that you don't even know how to allow the man to be.
Mm-hmm.
So also, so it is two sides to every situation as well.
Yeah.
Because one thing, and like I said, I didn't meet your husband, but the fact that you guys wanted to be each other's peace is a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
That at the end of the day, I'm not here to argue with you or fight with you.
Right.
We're going to build and to
And then
establish.
we would have felt horrible because we didn't know how many days he had left on this earth.
Yeah.
We spending it fighting with him or keeping his kids from him. That would have ate me up. But
Yeah.
I never had those feelings because he was always in his child life.
Wow. Yeah.
So and we were never fighting. So I don't
Yeah.
feel like, oh, I shouldn't have been fighting with him on this day. No, it
Mhm.
was I love you every day. When God told me I love you every day.
Oh
I
wow.
knew that.
Yeah.
He knew that.
Yeah. And
So
and like you said, you never know when that day can happen, and that
and you
transition,
don't.
and you don't want to have it on bad terms. Or
Mm-mm.
wish I had an
That's gonna be on your conscience
Mm.
forever how you treated that person.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So in the process of being a beautiful boss, you want to make sure that you are doing your healing, make sure that you're handling your business.
I'm sorry.
Handling your business and really doing your due diligence in
Mm-hmm.
relationships, because I think that some people can do a single because you're doing a single,
Mm-hmm.
but also a proper partnership.
Mm-hmm. It would be awesome.
You can be awesome. You can really do it
Yes.
when it's together and you guys figure it out together. Okay,
I want somebody's gonna come along and help me
talk.
and build my kingdom house.
No, valid.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that there are people who are willing and
Both ways.
able, no, both ways, and capable, but you want to make sure, and this is the important part too, that you're dealing with. I'm not even saying that you're going to be healed all the way. I'm not going to say you're going to be all the way together,
Yeah.
but at least you are making strides to make sure that your experiences, that you're getting your healing and your breakthrough that you need, even in pursuit of love. 'Cause sometimes, if you don't do that healing process as you've done in your book, that stuff can transfer over, and it can be a challenge.
Yeah,
it can be a challenge. And to somebody, and just somebody new stepping into your life, they may not have all the details. Maybe they didn't read the book or the things. They're like, "Oh, why she mad
they may
today?"
not know.
May not know.
That's up to me to communicate. Like,
Yeah.
what's the point of being in a relationship with someone if you can't communicate with them? How do you expect them to know if you're not telling them what's going on with you?
Yeah.
Or they're not asking, they're not concerned. So, if I'm not in a relationship with you anyway, you're not concerned.
If you're not concerned, and that's real, and that's something that I would love for every person listening to really consider. Like, does the person who you're talking to even inquire about how you feel, how you're doing? Because you're like, Frank, what do you got to do with being a boss? Because you have to be mentally and emotionally
everything.
Even myself as a boss and owner and trying to build a business, if I am mentally and emotionally taken off course because of a relationship or connection, I'm not going to be any good for myself or those around me. And then you can fall into depression, because that's the real thing.
That's true.
And depression don't pay bills. Depression had you locked up in a room in a corner, not wanting to do nothing, and whatever happens. But one thing that I'll say,
that's why it's important to pick your spouse wisely. My dad used to always say that it's very important to pick your spouse wisely.
Yeah,
because they either gonna make you or break you. I'm telling you, it's very important. It's very important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's funny. It's a song that's old school blues song. And say it's cheaper to keep her. And what that really was,
please,
right? And what that was is like, y'all not happy, y'all not really striving, but you don't want to let it go because it'll cost too much. But that's because you didn't do the research, you didn't guys spend time in developing your relationship with your partner to see if you even are compatible.
when I choose someone, I study them. I take a lot. I like, if you got that type of mentality, if we don't work out, are you going to try? We say we have children together. Are you going to try to, use the kids against me?
Oh yeah.
Like I really study people before I jump into a relationship with them to see if they're really going to do that. Because just because, like right now, I have a 5-year-old with another man.
Yeah.
Not by my deceased husband, and it didn't work out between me and him. Yeah. But we you know what? But it's okay.
Yeah.
Like he talks to his child. He's still in his child's life. He's not trying to. I'm not trying to hold the kid over here hostage or take him to court for child support. He does what he can for the child. I don't like stuff like that.
Yeah, that's good.
That's why I pick wisely. Like, because I want to know that if something happened between me and you where it don't work out, you're not gonna, try to break my bank or or use the kid against me. You just have to be careful because you just okay, you good, but we ain't, we're not together no more. We here for the kid.
We're here for the kid, and I think because that's balance, that's wisdom, that's wise. Because when you start getting it, and I don't know who's listening, and they're probably like, why are they talking about this now?
Because it's important.
It's important. And it's important.
Someone needs to hear this.
No, valid, because you trying to boss up your life, but your home life is tore up. You're trying to be, I'm a boss, or I'm out here in my bag. But emotionally, mentally, you really distraught because you got all this stuff happening behind the scenes. And and I'm gonna ask this question. I kind of know the answer.
That's what I respect. Go ahead. Can I say something? That's what I respect about my dad. My dad he was married, but he never let no woman, no wife, ex-wife of his use his kids against him. Like, I'm gonna get my kids when I want to get my kids. I'm gonna be in my kids' life. And listen, I got receipts showing everything I did for my kids, so you can't hold nothing against me. So if you take me to court, I got these receipts right here showing what I did for my kids.
No, valid.
Like, you got to. Sometimes you just have to be smart about things.
You have to be,
especially if you're dealing with that type of person. But some people that you deal with, you can rest you won't never have to deal with them doing that to you.
Valid. And I think that goes with,
if you choose the right person, you won't have to deal with that.
Yeah, and that goes with knowing the person that you're talking to and putting that time in to figure out and paying attention to the signs. Because people over time will reveal themselves.
They will. They be deceitful. And be like, dang, what happened?
No, for real. Like, hey,
this is a person I first met.
right. You changing. and it's not for the better. And you have to be willing to walk away. And that's something too. I think that we have to realize. Sometimes we, what's the word I want to say? Love is blind. And sometimes it'll make you want to stay in a place
that God don't want you to be.
That God don't want you in.
And you could be moving on with your life, and a lot of times God already done revealed who He wants you to be with, but you're holding back because you're afraid what someone might do to you, or they might say, or the harm they might cause you in your life. When God already revealed to you, this is the person I want you to be with. But how long do you think God's gonna hold that person for you?
Wow, no, that's good. That's good.
You take too long, He gonna send somebody else.
Because you hesitating.
Right.
And, I was in a class, and this is what they said: success loves speed. Sometimes we're losing stuff because we're second guessing, we're questioning, we're afraid, and God is like, "No, go." Some people aren't bosses not because you can't, because you haven't went. You haven't tried. Come on. You don't preach in here now. You haven't tried. You haven't taken the steps that God. I'm gonna preach this on Sunday. I just know I'm preaching on Sunday, but that you haven't obeyed my instructions.
Right.
So and I say, I'm using the word crying not for the trauma, but you're crying because things aren't happening. Right. But you haven't obeyed my instructions. I'm trying to make
Why come you haven't obeyed? Why didn't you go hit that person? I'm not gonna hit no man up.
No, valid.
Like, I mean, seriously, like, if you want to get with me, you're gonna have to hit me up.
No,
I'm not the type of female, like the way my dad raised me, the man is supposed to come to the woman.
Absolutely. Like
the man findeth the wife.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
And God will send you places to be found. They don't like that.
Right. He send you right to the person.
He'll send you to
He'll send a child to you to get to that person. I'm being real.
And that's real because, like, even yesterday, a few days ago, no, Friday. No, it's only Thursday. Help us, Lord. Wednesday. This wasn't a relationship, but God had told me to go see somebody. I had to make a payment. And he said, "Oh, this is what He said to me." He said, "Go and let favor work for you." I was like, "What? Go now." I said, "Oh my goodness." And I told him, I'm going. But I got there to pay a major bill, and he was just like, "What's going on?" And I told him what was happening. He said, "Oh, just wait till next week." So that means that because I responded quickly.
And not drag it out.
And right after that, he was getting ready to leave to go to a birthday party. So had I delayed any longer,
he would have been
gone. And I would have been like, oh, stressing out. But when you obey His instructions and you do what He said you to do, He'll set you up properly.
And He will.
Listen, I'm preaching Sunday. I just didn't want to go all the way. But in Deuteronomy chapter 28, God just talks about, listen, hearken unto my voice, obey my instructions, and everything works out. Like, He goes financially, physically, the body, but you got to obey.
You have to.
Got to obey. And I think that comes with the process of being a boss, even in relationships. You got to obey. And if I tell you no, take that.
Just take the no. He got something better for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And yeah. Oh, you on it today? Okay. No, valid. And take that no, because you don't. God is wise. He's all knowing. So there's some stuff that He know about the person that you don't know about the person.
Right.
You mess around, but how did you become an abuser? And I was always an abuser. I was just pretending, but
faking,
deceitful.
Right.
And
they gonna do what it takes to get you there. They ain't gonna tell you every little thing about them.
Right.
Right.
Everybody ain't got a book you can read.
Everybody ain't got a book.
No, valid that you can dig into. But for you, I think because you found love. You found that. And unfortunately, the transition was hard and heavy, and that was a journey. But now you're in a place of constant recovery. I just think that recovery sometimes is just some days I'm good and some days I'm not.
Yes.
Loss hits different.
Yes.
And some days we're good for a couple of months. Oh, birthday come up, church
holidays.
Holidays.
Yep.
Those things happen. And I think that the partner that's gonna come and rapture you up and get you going has to have the grace to understand that this didn't end on bad terms. This didn't end because we violated or no. This was a great relationship. My heart was here and I lost him. But if you're coming in on this understand that I still grieve the loss of him.
My husband told me that he prayed for a good woman.
Wow.
He went to my father and begged my father to marry me.
He
He had his mother beg my father to marry
Wow.
me. Yeah. He went to the church. He was begging. Okay.
I keep hearing the song, baby, I'm begging, baby. But you know what? But that shows a man's man. And I say that because that was the way they did it back in the day. I gotta go to the father. Yeah, you cute. You got my attention. Yeah, but I gotta go talk. Does your father approve? You know, let me go talk to the father. I want her. I want her in my life, and those things. And it shows integrity. It shows character.
Yeah.
It shows respect. It just shows so much. So if not saying that every man's gonna do that, but if the person that you talk to doesn't have the respect of the one that you admire him to be like,
right?
Because a man knows, a man can identify it. I got daughters, you know. I love them, and I'm gonna give them the best quality.
And my daddy spoiled me. So
no, Violet, listen.
He bought me cars, education. I had all kind of stuff.
That's why I told God, my funds got to really release. Because
my daddy spoiled me.
I love my wife. You know, it's not my show, but that's my baby. That's my baby. And then I got my son, and I have my girls, and I want them to live well, and I want to be the best example. That when they come into the time frame of companionship and looking for somebody, they can be like, "Oh no, my daddy took care of. My dad did. Oh yeah, he did that for absolute. Come on, he
took me to the mall. Take the credit card.
He got me my diamond, so I don't need you. He affirmed me that I was beautiful and amazing. He was, these things.
Sure did.
And whatever life brings outside of my control, they'll just know that dad was right. You know what I mean? Dad was there. He was there for me. So anybody who's coming into my life as a male figure, you got to make sure you got qualities that my father had that you got to live up to, because the standard has been set.
Right.
Like my daughters might be a little bougie. Don't listen. Why? Because they're not. Because of me.
Yeah.
Because of me.
That's how my dad had got me still. So.
Absolutely. That's so anybody out there listening, via parent, via adult, kid, young lady, young man. It's boss time. It's just that time to level up and making sure that your connections are valid. But listen, we only got 3 minutes left.
Okay.
We done talk. This was good. This was good conversation. But let us know where we can find your books and stuff, your information you got going on, and how we can contact you if we wanted to book you for an event or to come out or do some stuff.
You can basically, if you want to buy my book, you can purchase it on Amazon. It's called Shekel That Had Me Bound. You can follow me on my tree link. I have a tree link on TikTok and also on my Facebook page, Beautiful Boss. And it's different links you can follow. Beautiful Boss, RNIC@.com. You can purchase products and stuff, and you'll be able to book me real soon for speaking engagements to advocate to prevent child abuse and abuse. Yeah.
Absolutely. So make sure you guys go and support my homegirl, Rachaeal Stewart Johnson. And make sure you guys get her book and really read it so you can understand the dynamics of what she's gone through. There's another book in the works.
It is.
The things happening, and she has some healing oils that I got. That
pain oil and healing oils, perfume, unisex body oil sold on Walmart.
Yeah, so get her from Walmart. Let's support her in all that she does, and she's also available for booking and reaching out for that as well. So make sure you guys tap in, and we'll be back here next Thursday. It's going down at 1 o'clock. It's gonna be off the chain because the conversation getting juicy now. Okay, let's go. It's been good. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be encouraged. Until we meet again next week. It's Beautiful Boss on Fire 716 Big Frank and my homegirl Rachaeal Stewart Johnson.
They liked that show. It got like 18. Okay, they like that. We got to keep it like that.